Before tragedy struck, country music superstars Kelly Clarkson and Reba McEntire were supposedly in the process of discussing the possibility of producing a reality television series. They have a tight relationship and have appeared on the show that bears Reba's name in the past. What subject, then, would have been the emphasis of this particular exhibition? Continue reading for further information. Kelly Clarkson and Reba McEntire are scheduled to appear on reality television. The winner of American Idol, Kelly Clarkson, and Reba McEntire have a lengthy history together. Kelly served as a coach on the popular NBC show The Voice, and she also made a guest appearance on a show called Reba. In addition to this, Reba held the position of Kelly's mother-in-law for a short period of time. Because she was married to Brandon Blackstock and Reba was married to his father, they were related by blood. Brandon, who was fighting illness for 3 years, passed away recently. This information was withheld from his supporters and admirers. Kelly has been forced to cut her Las Vegas residency short because she and Brandon have 2 children together, Remy and River. Before Brandon's death and Kelly's divorce from him, the two had already made preparations to meet up with Reba. It is being alleged that the 2 women were supposed to star in a reality television show together, or they were at least in the midst of discussing the possibility. Originally, in 2019, the series was discussed, and development was in progress on it. The notion in question was to produce a family season of Voice, because Reba was previously Kelly's mother-in-law. The coaches would include Kelly, Reba, Blake Shelton, and Gwen Stefani. Taking into consideration that Blake is close to Kelly, and that her late husband was also in charge of his job, Blake would have been an invaluable asset in this situation. Furthermore, the fact that Blake and Gwen were dating made this a sensible and thoroughly considered concept. The concept for the program that would star Reba was not successful, and unfortunately, Kelly Clarkson's marriage to Brandon Blackstock also failed. Regarding the idea, a source who is familiar with the issue commented on it as follows: "Their relationships were all highly intertwined with one another. Those 4 individuals are closely connected to one another and have a sense of authenticity in their relationships. However, Kelly started going through a divorce, and the situation became too complicated, so it ended up fizzling out. It would have been a fun season, though." Reba also maintained an exceptionally strong relationship with Kelly and the Blackstock family. Although they all have excellent relationships, this was not a viable option for a reality television series. Important questions to ask. Kelly Season 29 of The Voice will see the return of Kelly Clarkson as a coach. Fans have been clamoring for her return and express their appreciation for what she brings to the table. Nevertheless, with her taking a break from her position in light of the loss of her former husband, it is now uncertain what will occur with her seat. She might be able to step in if it is necessary, as Reba McEntire is scheduled to be in attendance for the fall 2025 season. The season that Kelly is participating in is called Battle of Champions. Therefore, they may be looking to Blake as a substitute in the interim. This is a tremendously upsetting moment for all of the people who were familiar with Brandon Blackstock and cared about him. That particular family season may have made for a wonderful memory that would be cherished forever. Kelly Clarkson and Reba McEntire, 2 women who share not just a deep connection through music, but also a complicated family tie, were quietly preparing to team up for something that could have reshaped reality television. Long before heartbreak struck their families, the powerhouse duo had been in discussions about a show that would spotlight not only their lives as artists, but also their layered journey as women navigating love, loss, and reinvention. The idea first surfaced in whispers backstage at the Grand Ole Opry, where Reba was performing a medley of her classics. Clarkson, ever the admirer of her former mother-in-law, sat in the audience, swaying to every word. Friends close to both stars say it was then that Clarkson leaned into the idea of blending music and reality TV, into a format that only two of country's strongest voices could pull off. Kelly's always had a reality streak in her. Look where she came from, one insider revealed, referencing her American Idol roots. And Reba, well, she practically invented personality-driven television in country music. When they started talking about teaming up, it felt like lightning in a bottle. The premise, more than music. The working title was said to be Backstage Pass, a series designed to take fans behind the curtain into not just rehearsals and concerts, but also the personal moments that make superstars relatable. Instead of focusing solely on glamorous red carpet nights, Clarkson and McIntyre wanted to spotlight challenges, raising kids, staying grounded, facing heartbreak, and maintaining resilience. It wasn't just going to be about singing songs, another source explained. It was about showing how you keep moving when life knocks you down. Reba has lived through divorce, family loss, and reinvention. Kelly was going through her own divorce at the time, trying to be strong for her kids. The show was supposed to be raw and real. For Clarkson, who has built much of her public persona around authenticity, the project was appealing. For McIntyre, the veteran who has seen television success before with her beloved sitcom Reba, it was a chance to reintroduce herself to a younger generation, while standing alongside a woman she has often called family in every way that matters. A mother-in-law bond that survived divorce. Though Kelly's marriage to Brandon Blackstock, the son of Reba's ex-husband Narvel Blackstock, ended in a painful and public divorce, the bond between Reba and Kelly never dissolved. In fact, friends say it only grew stronger. They leaned on each other, said a longtime Nashville associate. Reba knew what Kelly was going through because she had walked that same road. They talked late at night, texted during the toughest days. They were closer than people realize. This closeness was part of the magic producers believed would translate to television. Fans wouldn't just be watching two stars, they'd be watching two women who had weathered storms and emerged with dignity intact. The timing before tragedy. The project was reportedly on track to be announced before a personal tragedy struck the family. Though details remain private, those close to the women confirm that the heartbreaking event forced them to shelve the project indefinitely. For Kelly, juggling motherhood, her daytime talk show, and her music career already stretched her thin. Adding a personal loss to the mix made the timing impossible. For Reba, the blow hit just as she was finding a new rhythm in her career, and stepping into reality television felt suddenly heavy. It was going to happen, a source emphasized. The contracts weren't signed yet, but everyone was on board. Then life changed overnight. It's like the universe pressed pause. What fans could have seen. The pilot episode concept, according to early documents, was set to open with both women walking onto an empty stage at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. The lights dimmed, their laughter echoed through the rafters, and the conversation began. Two women talking openly about how far they had come and how far they still had to go. Segments would have blended. Backstage diaries, clips of tour rehearsals, songwriting sessions, and candid green room moments. Family ties, life with Kelly's kids and Reba's extended family, giving fans a peek into motherhood and grandmotherhood. Women in music. Conversations with other female artists about breaking barriers in the industry. Healing and humor. Both women wanted a strong focus on laughter and hope, funny stories, cooking together, and even lighthearted challenges. They didn't want drama for drama's sake, a producer noted. They wanted honesty and joy. Even in struggles, they wanted people to walk away feeling stronger. Reba and Kelly, a legacy of strength. Part of the fascination with this potential project comes from the legacies both women already hold. Clarkson, the original American Idol, has built a career that stretches from chart-topping singles to Emmy-winning talk shows. McIntyre, a country icon with a catalog that shaped decades, has already proven her ability to connect with audiences on television. Pairing them together was more than clever casting, it was a merging of eras. Reba represents resilience, one National Insider explained. She's the matriarch of country. Kelly represents reinvention. She came from a reality show and built herself into an empire. Together, they're unstoppable. Will it ever happen? Though the tragedy forced a pause, people close to both stars insist the door isn't fully closed. They both want to do it when the time is right, one producer shared. It's about healing first, then maybe, just maybe, they'll pick it back up. Fans, too, haven't given up hope. Social media often buzzes with speculation whenever Clarkson and McIntyre appear together, with many urging them to launch the show. "We need Backstage Pass now more than ever," one fan posted recently. A story still being written. For now, Kelly Clarkson continues to thrive on her daytime platform and with her music, while Reba McIntyre remains an indomitable force in country entertainment. The reality TV collaboration they once dreamed of may be on hold, but the story of their friendship, family ties, and resilience is still unfolding in real time. In a way, the tragedy that stopped the show also highlighted what they had hoped to share on screen: that life is unpredictable, fragile, and demanding. Yet through it all, music, family, and faith can carry you forward. Perhaps that was always the true heart of their idea. Not a show about fame, but a story about survival. And though fans may not get to see Backstage Pass just yet, the bond between Kelly Clarkson and Reba McIntyre remains the living proof of the power they had hoped to capture.